All right, so uh, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and it's consultations. A lot of you have been a flow for enough time to know that we have a process of flow from how we answer the phone to how we design to how we talk to clients and how we meet clients. And that process is very much defined, in our intro documents that we share with you and some of the information that we share. And all of it has to do with the fact that we're a very organized and robust company. Even though we're a small kind of firm, we operate like a big firm on that sense. And the topic today is high impact architectural consultation. And this came about because we have a new season of members of Flow that are getting very much intertwined into how we make it rain, how we get clients, how we operate. And if your desire is not to run a firm or be in management within Flow, um, I think it's important, even as a designer, as an architect, to understand the process so that when we pass the ball to you, you know exactly what you get. You know, okay, I understand exactly what I'm getting. I'm gonna go kind of quickly here. So the purpose of the we're gonna talk about the purpose of the consultation structure, essentially how the consultation actually works. A little bit about, I divided into kind of three parts: building a rapport, extracting the dream, and educating plus control of the project. So there's like some kind of heavy duty things. Now, as I said, this is open to all of you. Is there any words in here that you do not know what they mean? Like, hey, Darwin, there's a word here I don't know. I want that to be part of how we operate. Like, if you don't know what the word report means, I completely understand if you don't. So I want to know, hey, I don't understand that word. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the WIN means in here. Like, why do you put win there? What does that mean? So ask any questions. Any questions, guys?
Yes, what is rapport?
So it's report. And I knew you were gonna ask, and I'm glad you asked. So again, Flow Design Architects is all about leveraging the next generation of diverse architects, and that means that some of us don't speak English as our native language. So we're doing this for all of you, and you're welcome here at Flow. So anybody that watches it 20 years from now, you're welcome here. So the word report relates to creating a connection or empathy with that particular individual. It's kind of like when you get into an elevator. Hey, how you doing? How was the weather? It's creating connections. You do that through multiple ways. Me and Marcos have learned that actually having a life and being human is the first beginning to creating that connection with clients. Clients only work with people they like and trust. If they don't like you, you're not building rapport. Not liking you is the opposite of rapport. Rapport is connections, empathy, commonalities, common grounds. Any other words, Marcos, that you may know that relate to that? Maybe.
I mean, honestly, like as Darwin mentioned, architecture is beyond architecture. Many different firms do the same thing we do. So it's all about the connections that you could have with the client. Honestly, I have closed on many projects because of everything but architecture. MOC, we got it because I used to work in Youth Build Boston, and I mentioned something similar. And the guy who actually hired us used to work at Youth Build Boston. So there was a connection there that was beyond architecture. He didn't even know what we did, what we were all about, but just that little comment opened his eyes to have an interaction with us. So, yeah.
So building rapport, it's all about that. It's exactly what you do all the time, Menina. Juliana is very good at it, so I'm kind of giving her kudos on that. She's curious. She asks questions. She wants to connect with people, and people kind of like it when you are interested in them, because we kind of have a little bit of narcissism, all of us. We like people liking us, you know. So it's you like them, they like you. So it's all that. So we'll go more into details on that. But any other questions? All right. So what I'm gonna do, again, I'm the speaker and presenter, but this is all about all of you guys, so no worries on
What is
that.
the win before?
Great question. So This I learned from a couple books I've read and some podcasts, and it's something I use all the time. And it's W stands for what, I stands for important, and is for now. Often when we are at a place with somebody, we can be derailed and distracted. And sometimes just I just tell myself that win, like what's important now. No, not that somebody's calling you, not that something else going on. No, I even have told clients, and you probably have seen it, what I tell, hey, 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 focus here. We're talking right now. Here's what we're gonna talk about. Like it's really focusing on what's important. And in this particular part, it's all about their dreams and aspirations for the project. It's not about me. You know, often I can get into a segue with a client to talk about my trip to Paris, and there's enough of that you could do, and then just stop. Like we're here, let's pivot back to the real conversation because there are other things that can derail the conversation into another side. So I always just tell myself, what's important now? Let's win. Dar win. Let's what's important now. So that's it. Wanted to kind of immediately tell you that we do have a flow checklist. And consultations are part of the flow checklist, and it is very much discussed as a checklist within our process. So that's step 0 within our process. If you do not know, or step 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you got to go watch that now because you're not able to actually do consultations unless you understand our process. That's a prerequisite to doing consultations. You cannot do consultations unless you understand our process. For some of you that may be new, define, envision, design, document. It's not just a pretty picture process. It's exactly how we'll operate from step 0, meeting the client, which is what we're talking about today, to step 1, which happens after a signed contract and a signed deposit. Deposit is provided. It's all of these steps. I'm not gonna get into detail because we don't have time for that right now, but that's our process. So, the purpose of a consultation at the end of the day, it's not to provide a design. It's not to give them a design. That's not the goal. The goal is actually to build trust, rapport, connections, to extract a clear goal from the client. What's the scope? What's the time? What's the budget? Often I get asked, what's the word scope? And we use that often. And I know I was going to talk today about grammar and words and vocabulary, but I actually delegated that a little bit because one, Marco's going to be out for a little while in the next couple months. Thank God, it's a blessing. But it means that you guys can begin doing more consultations. So this is more in season with what we need to do right now, which is make sure that we continue to bring the work as a team. So it's all about identifying the risk. And the word scope is work, amount of work, quantifications of work. You know, if you were to talk about scope as a shopping list, I got to buy 5 eggs. 5 eggs is the scope, is the items, is the thing that you're going to be doing, right? And that's measured in 3 ways. Time is also part of the scope because you need to do it by when. I got to buy 5 eggs, scope, by Friday, time. Okay, and budget, and they have to cost me $5 because I only have $5. So 5 eggs is the scope. By Friday, because I got to make a cake on Friday or Saturday and I need eggs for the cake. And budget is I have $5 to buy it. Same idea on architecture. I got to do a house with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a garage, and scope. I got to do it I have to have plans by February, by March, within what time frame. I want to have my keys to my house by 2028, 2025, time. Budget, I have to do this house for $600,000, $700,000. That can be different. It could be budget for design services versus budget for construction services, different things, but you need to understand the budget. All right. So we identify risks. Also, I do that whenever I'm with the client. Is the client at risk? Is this particular client going to be a risk for flow? We've learned so much. Marcos just picked up a client recently where the questions they were asking told him enough to know that he didn't want to work with them ever. He said, no, thanks. All right. So we identify risk, but no, the client is one risk, but the municipality is a risk. The zoning is a risk. The cost is a risk. Is it feasible at all or not? And we want to position flow as the expert. At the end of the day, when we walk out of that place, they have to have clear answers to the fact that we have a system. They like us. We understand zoning and codes. We understand your scope. because that's the only way you can write a contract. At the end of the day, you're gonna write a contract, right? That's next. But they have to feel like they can trust you with their dreams. This is their dreams. Either an office or a house or a 24 or 45 unit building. It's part of their dreams to one way or another. So far so good. Any questions? So to that end, I'm going to pull up an actual consultation that I was able to record that so that we listen to it for a little bit. Please breathe in. I know it's hard to be listening to things and watching videos. So I want to ask and provide you permission to relax and listen. Take notes. Get your note paper, notepads. Take notes, and understand that this is part of your work. I feel we sometimes are on edge because we have so much to do. But this right now, it's all you should be doing and everything you should be doing. This presentation right now. So I'm gonna share the screen and let me know when you can hear it. Okay. Can you see the video I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So let me share the audio now. Thank you for that. Yes, I love it. Share audio. Mono. I feel the video. Okay. Great. So I'm gonna mute myself and here we go. So now recording. So I'm Darwin Fortuna. I'm a licensed architect. I'm one of the principals and co-founders of Flow Design. I've worked with Leo in several projects, and I'm super happy that he kind of got me involved in this. And I'm here kind of looking to help you. So let's go through some quick introductions so that very quickly, and I'm gonna be interrupting myself. Building relationships right away. I am being referred by a contractor. Building rapport. Remember we mentioned rapport? And I'm showing myself one as a professional. You can use your AIA associate, or you can use I am, I hold a bachelor's of architecture or a master's of architecture. Some of that helps validate yourself. So you're already building rapport by who you are and where you're coming from. Okay. We know who's really running the show, and we know Daylight likely is the one running the show, but it would be nice to get to know everybody before we jump in.
Okay.
And can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So could you introduce yourselves, guys, so I at least get to know you real quick?
I'm Carlos.
Carlos.
Carlos, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. All right.
Nice to
Well,
meet
so now that's why Carlos had the camera off. It's like Dela is the boss. I'm just that. All right. So it is my understanding that we want to do kind of like ADU, detached ADU. Is that kind of the goal that we're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what what the goal is for you, so that I can look at the table, look at the zoning, and tell you the implications of that so that we get an understanding. But I always like to know, like, hey, Darwin, if I get X, Y, and Z, this is a great project. That's what I want. If I can't get that, it doesn't make any sense. So just tell me what it is you want to get.
Okay. They were saying the maximum you can go, it's 900 square feet. Is that what it is?
It depends. So it is the max that you can get by right. That is correct. But it's the law basically says that you can get 50% of the area of the primary residence or 900 square feet, whichever of the two is less. So if you had a house that was 1,500 square feet, 1,500, you could only have a 750 square foot ADU because it's whichever is less out of the two. So it's always, 900 is the max by right. If your home, let's say, has 2,000 square foot, because it will be half, it will be 1,000, so 900, whichever is the less amount, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's how it is. But what's your goal? Like, what would you want to get out of the project? What would be the goal? And I like to people to tell me even if it's more, like Darwin, I would like X, Y, and Z, because there's ways of getting things, and this is the moment where you dream big. And then I'll be the dream killer. I'll tell you what you can have, and and how we can get it, if in any way,
I mean, the main thing is make sure it's. I mean, we want to leave on, rent the, and this is two family. This the way we are now. Um, I wanted a decent place that we can be okay living on, and that's the main goal.
So for you to live decent on that, what does it have to have?
Um, at least two bathrooms and two bedrooms. Yeah, that's the thing.
Two
I mean,
baths.
size, enough closet in the bedroom. That's what I like. I mean, at least you can live comfortable. That's it. I don't want to be too tight too. If that's not possible, we just.
But Dela, it's important that you describe it very well. Like, okay, now
Mhm.
and listen, it's got to have two bathrooms. One of the bedrooms got to have a walk-in closet and a
Mhm.
master bathroom within that. The other one will be a common bathroom,
Mhm.
laundry. Like I want a laundry area if
Yes.
possible. I want, open concept kitchen. It's got to have enough cabinetry so that I can put stuff, a pantry.
Mhm.
I want you to tell me all that stuff because my
Mhm.
job is like a
Mhm.
magician
Mhm.
to make it happen,
Yeah.
right? So and Leo got to really make it happen. I'll make it happen in paper, and it's gonna work because that's what we do, right? I'm licensed to do
Yeah.
that. But I want to know, hey, Dario, I would like it to have a deck. I would like it to have whatever it is you want, right? Like, just
Oh,
tell me.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
tell
you
me.
want to
Well,
put.
all the dream you
Great.
tell me, you can tell right now. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Carlos is paying, and you're just asking, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes, I like to have enough space and at least two bathrooms. One, at least I have a guest bathroom, and then maybe two floors. If the top can have the bedrooms and the bathroom, I want to have a laundry, a deck. Um, yes, let me think. A laundry set, yes. Enough space in the kitchen, like a pantry, something like that.
You guys see, I was trying to extract the scope, time, and budget concept, right? Like the items from her. It was kind of hard at first, but I was kind of pushing to get her into. It's okay to ask for the things that you want because I'm already reading between the lines. Like this family, it's very humble, very much like they don't want anything extravagant, but they find comfortable, right? They find decent, right? So I'm asking them, what does that mean? Like, what is this? And giving them permission. You could see already by the amount of times that they have laughed that I'm building rapport throughout the entire process, building connections throughout the entire process.
What else? Help me, how?
That was what you want.
Is anyway like to do a bedroom?
3 bedrooms or bathrooms?
Bed.
Bedroom. Two bed and three bed. Two bed.
All right.
Dois casas banho, quarto, três, quarto cama.
3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, at least.
Okay, okay. The three bedrooms is tight. So I'll tell you right now,
Yes.
but that's
Yeah.
fine. So I'll look at that as an aspirational one of the 3 bedrooms,
Mhm.
but 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms is the minimum. So that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I know.
Um.
Usually, how they don't go very hard for 3 though.
Okay. So this all makes sense. Do you want it to have a relationship to your existing house or just to be completely disconnected? Is this the property right here that I'm looking at on the screen? Can you see the screen?
No. No. Oh wait, maybe I'm. Yes, yes, that's the one.
That White House, right?
Uh huh.
The
Yes.
White House.
Hmm.
Okay, good. All right. So we wanted to have a relationship with the house or just to be completely detached, like I say attached to the house. How would you envision it?
I want to detach it, not attach it to the house.
Okay. Okay. All right. So 2 baths, 2 bedrooms, ideally 3 bedrooms. enough closet on each one of the bedrooms. Ideally, first floor is the living spaces, and then the second floor is the private bedroom spaces, laundry, pantry, a deck if possible, right? Off of that. And it looks like, I guess, because you want to detach, it's because you want privacy, right? You want to be able to have it's almost like your own house separate from the tenants and everybody else, right?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Walk-in
Um,
closet. Don't forget that.
yeah, walk-in closet. Um, all right. So I'm not sure how much Leo has spoken about us, but we've done, in my opinion, the most designs for ADUs in Massachusetts because we were doing designs for ADUs before they even existed. Like we were doing them for the last 9 years. We've been designing them for people and making them so that they were convertible. Like, like they had everything, but they probably didn't have the kitchen, but we knew that that was coming. So we'd make it so that they could have it. So we understand all that. And as a matter of fact, the state did a competition recently in March for ADUs, and we submitted 6 entries of that competition. We don't know the winners yet, but we're like very much into that, into designing ADUs, into understanding ADUs. We love those kind of small spaces that can have everything. And I can testify to the fact that I'm doing my own ADU too on my lot, just like you guys. So again, establishing rapport, showing that we are champions of what they want us to do, and then reliability. I'm also trying to do this. Um, I'm not going to put the whole video. I'm gonna go through the slides a little bit more. This gets even better, and I want you guys to watch it, please. But I want to go through the slides. There is a lot that can be unpacked from this presentation. In fact, when I go into the mass mapper that you saw at the beginning, I get into very detailed things, more than what you typically even would do in a consultation. But it's I did it thinking of you guys. Honestly, I did this thinking of a model consultation for you. So I'm gonna go through the slides. Any questions on any of these so far? Nope. Okay. So again, build trust, extract clear client goals, identify risks, and early zoning. There was more to that I spoke about afterwards, but we didn't do that on this particular part of the video. So you go there and immediately build rapport. I did that by introducing myself, by joking about who the boss is in the relationship, meaning the wife or the husband. That's something I always throw in there. You can create your own style of that, your own version of that. You're not a Darwin or Flo robot. You're your own individual, but extract the vision. What is the vision? 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, walk-in closets, pantry, laundry, deck, privacy. So you see how I was digging into privacy. I was trying to dig into why do they want to detach. They also have tenants. Maybe they want to live apart. I'm trying to dig into what it is that they want, into the psychology of what it is that they want. I'm also educating them. So on that next section, I was actually going into education. I am doing ADU. I have done ADUs. Here's how they typically go. Here's how certain things you should consider. And then I sell the process. Immediately you go into here's our process 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, you saw that I introduced myself very clearly. That's very important. Establish credibility. We've done many ADUs. We're licensed. Here's where we're at. And create some sort of relaxed storytelling humor to the thing. It just helps kind of again building rapport. That's the part one that I mentioned. It's all about creating that connection with the individuals where they actually feel safe to tell you what's really going on. Sometimes people don't tell you what's really going on. All right, you think they in the periphery. She just said, "Oh, I want to build something to live in that's comfortable." But there's something else that's really going on. I get into that more later in the video. You can watch it, please. But there's some other things that are going on. But if they don't feel comfortable with you, do you think they're gonna tell you what's really going on? They don't. They won't tell you. So part two, extract the dream, like I mentioned. So do not start with constraints. I wasn't telling them what's possible or impossible. I just told them I'm a magician for these purposes. Tell me what you want. We'll see how we can make it happen. I'm not telling them all the no's. I'll tell you why. As you get older in this profession, you can some people get bitter, and it's like, oh, the maximum height is 10 feet, the maximum setback is 5 feet. You cannot do that, dude. All right, leave that for last. You don't tell the end of the story at the beginning of the story. That's a bad book. That's a bad story. Let them begin the story, get to the middle of the story, and then go back to the story. Um, Tell me your dream. This is a moment where you dream big. Okay. So those are the words I use. What would make this project a success for you? I like that. What makes it successful? If everything went perfect, I use this a lot. What would this look like? This is all programming 101, programming from school. Typically at school, they gave us the program. That's actually a bad thing. They shouldn't give us the program. They should help us generate the program, create the program. I'm creating the program. Why are you collecting? In this particular case, programming, amount of spaces, lifestyle, look, privacy. I went into detail later on the video on the fact that they want residual income and rental income and that they will want to convert this into a condo if possible later. So I went into that. The priorities, the amount of space, the cost, the features. Any questions so far? So how to structure the client input? I was taking notes. Amount of bedrooms, amount of bathrooms, laundry, deck. Why the aspirations? The must have is my program. The aspirationals is a 3 bedroom walk-in closet, 2 floors. It's kind of aspirational if possible. Now, what's the hidden intent? That's another thing that I got because I built rapport and they were able to tell me. They want to rent the entire other house and live on this ADU, and they went into the details of how much they will make and how they will want to live, and that if possible they will want to sell the other 2 condos and stay on the other one. So it's important to look into the hidden motives. This is very much tailored towards residential, but if it was a commercial space, I want to have X amount of children. If it was a daycare, I need to have 30 children. I need to make money off of the. If it's a restaurant, I want to create a vibrant, welcoming environment where all my smoothies sell. You need to understand their goals so that as a designer, you have the tools to address those goals. And this is how you Trojan horse conceptual ideas that are sexy and provocative, because you can tell them, I listen to you. You wanted this master, or you wanted this space. I listen to you, right? Part 3 is all about educating and kind of control. At the end of the day, guys, we are the ones that run the show. All right. So we are the ones that have a process, that understand the process, that we are often described as architects as the masters of ceremony or the orchestra leaders of the orchestra, all the instruments. We are the ones that control it. We're the directors. So create a framework of making sure that you are able to explain things very simply. After we all get a master's of explaining things simply, because often our clients are underrepresented clients that don't understand most of this gibberish. And we relate to them and we make it very simple to them. We relate to the costs associated with these problems and what they mean. And we provide general alternatives and options. Later on in that video, I go into detail into what the pros of a detached are versus an attached, or the pros of a single story or single floor versus a multi-floor. You develop that over time. But it's only not to solve the problem, but to see what their taste is in the direction of the project so that you guys as designer can actually already have a head start. So if it's detached, there is expensive utilities because you have to connect water and sewer all the way back there. There are implications. If it is attached, you have a 2-family, now it's going to be turned into a 3-family. You're going to need to sprinkle it and it's going to become commercial. You see the hidden things, you develop that over time as you get more experience, as you listen to me and other people. Over time, you just develop that taste for these things. Okay. So it's good to talk about money, to some degree, instead of like leaving it ambiguous. All right. So I actually made it clear to say, hey, the detached has its privacy implications, but the water sewer has its cost implications. Okay. Talk about the general implications of these things. I wasn't good at costing before. I'm not necessarily an expert right now, but I have gotten my toes wet, my feet wet with some projects, and I ask questions to contractors. So I know things like moving an electrical panel costs $10,000 just to move a panel 3 feet. So often we don't want to move a panel. Moving utilities from one side of a room to another side have a lot of cost implications. Having a detached and the water and sewer being moved from the street all the way to the back has a linear foot cost implication. You start developing a taste for price and difficulties, and then you are able to talk the talk that they want to know. Is this even feasible? Is this even doable? Okay. Instead of saying something like, "Oh, it may be really difficult," you can actually say, "Look, sprinkle systems range from like $40,000 to $60,000. All right, I'm just telling you right now. That's kind of the range I see out there. How do you get those numbers? Talking to a sprinkle system people, calling them out. You can call people, cold call them. Hey, I have a project at 25 Martin Street, and I'm gonna do this. You can call these people and get prices for that. Part four: positioning flow process. Our process is the one thing, guys, the one thing that differentiates us from all of the firms I worked at. None of the firms I worked at had a clear, distinguishable process, not a hypothetical process, a real process. We all follow step 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 every day. We have emails for everything on any one of those steps. So that why is that important? Is because it's first base, second base, third base, home. The goal is to get people to home. If you don't know how to get them to home to score, you don't know what you're doing. And that's the difference between a novice startup and established company. So I want us to always be talking in terms of our process and where everything goes. Often clients want all the answers at once. Hey, listen, I am sorry, I'm not able to provide you with all these answers. I need your envision package. I need to discuss the design options with our design director and our sustainability director at step 3. Things take time. Why do they take so long? I am working on your progress permit set, but it needs to be revised and reviewed by our lead architect and our principal. They need to know these things. You need to know the process better than anybody else. And that's how I started this conversation today. Process. Okay? Things that you need to kind of keep in mind, key consultation principles. One, you're not a drafter. If you were just going to be a drafter, you wouldn't be here. You're not just sketching for the client, whatever the client just wants. You're here to strategically listen to what they want, understand what they want, and produce something that they are not able to create. So just listen strategically for nuggets and information that represents space solutions. But you're not a drafter. Often I tell everybody that at Flow Design, everybody holds their own pencil. This office is not Darwin or Marcos or Wandy, for that matter, sketching a nice, beautiful concept and you following it and making it into Revit. You're not draftmen and draft women. You are strategic advisors and designers and architects. Okay? 2, don't rush into solutions. I actually often tell clients when I meet with them, I know you may have expectations as to what I'm going to give you today because AGTV makes it look like I have a magic wand and I can put a wall there and demo a wall here. And the TV shows and the Star Architect world makes it look like, yeah, put a window there and take that wall down. No, unfortunately, that's not how in reality it works. I use that all the time. And I'm here to tell you exactly how it works. Yes, you want to remove that wall, but there are likely columns or this is likely a hidden wall that carries weight, and we have to evaluate that, and that takes time. This is all very much outlined in my book, guys, and you guys are all gonna get a copy because it's also all of this is bigger than just the thing that you're doing. When Marcus was saying we get more out of other things than just architecture, what I'm telling you here is there's other things that are inherent to what we do that goes beyond the actual line that has cost implications, and we want to value our profession. You guys all want to make 6 figures and more, and the only way to make 6 figures and more is if everything we do has inherent value, generates value, and everybody values our profession. We need to start by valuing our profession. Telling them, yes, you can move that wall, that's no problem. Telling them, yeah, I'll do that real quick, that's fine, that'll take me a minute. Every time you talk like that, you're destroying our profession, completely destroying our profession. You're taking the element of surprise out of the magic too. You're already solving the problem. You're already solving the puzzle. There's no charm in that. There's really no charm in that. It's kind of when the game gets boring when you already know all the answers. That's so boring. You don't play a game that you know all the answers. That's just boring. So we want to make sure that we understand before we solve. Understand before we solve. Understand before we solve. I'm often looked at as a person that doesn't listen, but I have to be honest, and I'm not giving kudos to myself. I process things very fast. I listen kind of very fast. I need to sometimes slow down with people. It's kind of a problem I have, but I do listen. But I kind of move very fast. So I'm teaching all of you to never go to step 4 without doing step 3, and I'm teaching myself to not go to step 4 without going to step 3. On that session, that recorded consultation, I was biting my tongue to listen. I was trying to set an example for you guys, trying to push them to talk. Please introduce yourself. Please present yourself. Right? They only say, "Hey, I'm Carlos." That's it. But I am trying to pass the baton and say, it's your project. You can control the conversation by leading it, not by monopolizing it. Hey, so why do you want to detach? Why do you want to attach? Is it privacy? Is it lighting? Is it what is it about this? You don't they don't control the conversation. You control the conversation, but you don't have to talk to control the conversation. Do you guys know that listening is the best way to control a conversation? Just listening? It's the best way because you know where to take it because you've already been given enough. You have ammo to use to direct the conversation where you think it should go. So, and you can give options. Don't trap it. Like, oh, it's a dead end. It's impossible. This is no. Don't trap it. You can be open without giving an entire solution. Yeah, we may want to explore demolishing that wall and understanding the implications structurally. We'll have to run it by a structural team, but it is a possibility, right? But have you looked at this or that, So, and that said, I'm going to move into another section of this presentation. It's kind of words to use, but before I move there, any questions, any tips from you guys? Marcos, any tips? Anything that you've been using that has worked, or anybody else? Wandy, you've been doing consultations. I would love to hear how you've been doing them. I know Stephanie has been doing consultations. Your Kellis and Rai have been doing consultations. I would love to hear how you guys have been doing it. Anything new? This is my opportunity to also learn from you. Anything new that you've used that worked, that was great? Let me know right now, please.
I just want to mention something that Marcus asked to one client yesterday. We went to a consultation, and the question was like, "Is this your forever home?" Because they were doing like a big renovation, and uh, what I understood is that Marcus was putting them in perspective to see if what they want to do is for them, and and it's gonna have all the elements that they really want and related to their lifestyle, or is it gonna be something that they don't really care that much? They can sell it in the future. So I like that because that makes the client understand that we care about what they're doing, you know, and it opens like a lot of possibilities. I mean, that only question opened a big conversation between them and us. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I like that question.
Thank you, Wandy. I also will say on that note that typically sometimes clients are telling you, I want a Toyota, but at the same time, they're sending you mixed signals with like, no, by the way, it's not really a Toyota. I want more like an Audi. And then you need to really understand, like, you as an architect, as a professional, you need to be able to be aware of all those things quickly, and be able to really assess what kind of client this person is going to be. Is it this really what they want? Is this client a developer? Is this client an owner? Is this client like, if this is their forever home, that we're talking about um, creating a master suite on the second floor. but I right away brought up to them like, hey, we got a lot of clients that what about if the master suite is on the first floor, because you want to age in place and all of that. So those are things that you need to be aware quickly while you're doing the consultation. So yes.
Right on point, guys. Right on point. Excellent. So
I
the
have.
way that me and Marcos kind of, yeah, right. I'll give you a second. So just give me 1 second. So the way that me and Marcos look at consultations, and I can speak for him, because we pretty much have been doing it the same similar way for the last 9 years, is literally, let's say this is a meter, and I'm sketching. Can you see the sketch? We try to meter, is this client this way, like trouble or easy? Is this client that way? Or like on this spectrum, we're looking at an spectrum of client. Like, is it here neutral? I don't know if I can read it. Those are kind of weird when we can't read them. But we try to read them in every aspect, in every metric. But the ultimate goal, I'll tell you, the ultimate goal for me and Marcos is not even to get the project. Believe it or not, it's not even to get the project. It's to assess the best and most efficient way of meeting or not meeting the needs of this client, to translate that to you into a kick-ass design. Literally, all we do in this prepping, and that's why I say, watch my initial consultation. Listen to this carefully. I am literally talking to you in secret, saying, dude, look at this wall. That will be a great opportunity. Look at this thing. That will be a great opportunity. Look at this. They like this. Whenever we're on site, we're basically prescribing the recipe for success for you as a designer, and you just got to dunk it. We're passing the alley to you. Literally, alley boom, dunk it. We're literally just getting into first base so that you can hit a home run. It really is all about you guys being empowered to meet the needs of the client, or we determine that this is not a good fit for us. It's either go or no go. That's really it. Go ahead. Does that make sense, everybody? Right, go ahead.
No, just a tip that I remember I learned from Marcos was to, he says it's important not to try to solve the entire project or the design while we're on site, because I think sometimes the way clients will ask certain things is that they want to solve things in the consultation. But I think that's the point, that we're gonna try to get higher to then get there. So I think he told me it's very important to try to, like you mentioned, be positive and offer some possible ideas without giving them the exact answer before we are even higher. So just
Exactly, exactly. Marcus, you want
I
to say
will.
something?
Oh, somebody else want to say something?
No, you can go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I was actually gonna say, like, sometimes, like, in a consultation, try not to necessarily like sell what you do. Like, I feel that being knowledgeable in trying to help the client actually bring set you apart, because it's not like, oh no, I'm trying to sell my services. I sometimes tell people, look, I'm giving you some ideas, you could go with us if you want to, but it's not necessarily, people can sense where your intentions are coming from. So
It's the kind of, exactly what Marco says, is that there are a couple ways of doing the same thing. It's like, okay, I could be telling you, oh, I've done 2,000 ADUs, 2,000 ADUs, 2,000 ADUs, and the other one could be, hey, yeah, so what we want to do? Okay, a 5 by 5. Oh, excellent. So the setbacks may be X. We may be able to accommodate that, and we've kind of touched upon that in other projects similar to this. We can assist you, but it's saying it on a much candid way, by the fact that you understand setbacks, zoning, regulations. You're already saying this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, I don't need, and I try to. We'll have different styles. The goal is the same. So putting all the enough ingredients into it is great. I always tell Marcos that now we're at a level of flow design where we don't have to really sell too much, to be honest. Before we would, and sometimes we kind of, I personally kind of always go back to those days in which we had no projects, and sometimes I forget that we have done over 2,000 projects. So I kind of tell it to myself. I'm like, Jesus, we've done a lot of projects. Like there's a lot of work that we've done. So at this point, we don't necessarily need to oversell. We don't necessarily. They can go with somebody else. Even understanding that takes the pressure off of it. Marcos used an analogy before with me, which is, hey, when you buy an IKEA product, every time you really push it really hard to put the table together, you break it. If you are pushing something too hard, it means you're doing it wrong. I like that. I kind of borrow that from Marcos because it's true, guys. Every time you're assembling something, and and then you realize, dude, the thing wasn't even pushed. You just had to rotate it. It's because you're forcing it. When you're forcing it, you're gonna break it. It's not gonna be good. So on this conversation, even on this conversation, at some point you also give up too. You're like, this guy isn't getting it, and I'm not gonna keep fighting it. So go ahead and listen, and I'll be done, and I'll go my way, and I'll probably never send you a proposal. And that's it. Don't force it. Don't force it. Even the conversation, don't force it. You're like, no, this is gonna be trouble. I don't want to do this project. I might even ask my question, like, do I want to do this project? No, I really don't want to do this project. So that's it. I'm gonna move into the next part. This has been great. Again, every time I do these sessions, I remember why we need to do these trainings. This is not optional. This is we need to do these trainings because look, all of you are picking something up that we couldn't really get into details on the Monday meetings because the Monday meetings isn't for that. This is for that. So this is great. All right, so a couple of things. So none of these are horrible words, but you could use others. So backyard space is the same idea as rear yard setback area, right? Distance for neighbor is the same thing as a side yard setback. Buildable area, building envelope area. Water connection, you can use the word utility tie-in. Too expensive, you can use the word cost prohibitive. Big house, good gross floor area, a spacious house. Like there's other ways. It's not that they're horrible. I'm just saying that they could be better. Or you would like to add a unit, you would like to add an accessory dwelling unit. Make it fit. You could say, I would like to optimize the space. Utilize the space. That's another word I've noticed that Juliana didn't understand in one of our sessions. Utilize is a word that means use something to the best of its ability. So I have to utilize my money. Utilize my money means spend it in a very cost conscious way, effective way. Utilize my lot is having the highest and best use of that particular lot or plot or parcel. Utilization ratio is something we use a lot in architecture. Some of you taking the exams. It's the ratio of how much of your time is being used towards a project and is billable versus some time that's wasted when you go to the bathroom and things like that. So I'm trying to connect it there. Hopefully it makes sense. So really good phrases to use. From a zoning standpoint, it looks like this is a by right use. From a code standpoint or perspective, this is, by right versus variance or special permit. By right, using something by right. Using something by right means by decree. You can do it. There's no need to get any special permits. You can do that. You have every right to do that. So that word works. By right is a by right use. You have every right to do that use. All right. We need to evaluate the feasibility. Words like feasibility. Feasibility is the same thing as, is this even possible? Is this even doable at all, right? But it's the word that we use a lot. There are cost implications. We need to understand that word. So when you start talking like that, it begins to build authority without you saying, I have 20 degrees in architecture. And just by the way you talk, just literally by the way you talk, it already is validating you. Okay. And here's a quick consultation checklist, before you go to that property, to that particular location, review the property. This also adds into the existing conditions training that Marcos did before. We always got to check the address, check the property, make sure that you feel safe going there. Just, general kind of idea. Look at the zoning basics or that particular location. It never really hurts in any way, even if the thing is a basement. It never really hurts to just pull up zoning. You just get better at it, quicker at it, more efficient. So think of it like an interview too. You study the company where you're doing the interview. Before you guys came to Flow, you looked at Flow and you say, I like this place. Why? Because of X, Y, and Z. So you come prepared. All right. During the consultation, build rapport, ask for the dream, extract the program, educate about constraints and possibilities, discuss cost implications if possible, present options as a general idea, explain your process as a company. Flow Design's got a process, save photos, take notes, do recordings. After we do a proposal, we send it, we save all those photos and recordings, and we document the key goals. And that is it, my friends. That's the process to how we do consultations. If you never want to do consultations, Upload, you don't necessarily have to. That doesn't stop you from growing. You can grow in different areas and aspects. But I think that understanding what the person is doing when they're doing the consultation will set you up for success so that oh, now I know why he's talking about detach versus attach versus this. It really is positioning you for success. Take a breather when you get a project assigned to you and enjoy looking into the different aspects. Reading the contract is the first step, actually, when you get assigned a project. So read the contract, understand the contract. Hey, Darwin, I have a question about this. Hey, Marcos, I have a question about this. Hey, Wandy, I have no idea what you're talking about here. Let's understand it so that we can move to the next level and continue to improve. And with that said, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. I'll stop the recording now. And thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in Flow. This is the best season of Flow yet, and we're gonna keep going up. The sky is the limit.